Okay, this will probably be my last enlightenment video for a while. I'm pretty close to being enlightened. Not, I'm, I'm not enlightened. I'm just a crazed old man. But one miraculous thing did happen. I went to an old Enlightenment Desktop forum, or I don't know if that was a forum or a review, and I found keyboard instructions for turning on an instance of the. They didn't call it terminology, they just call it the terminal. So, and that is Control Alt up there in the upper right hand corner of your keyboard. I don't know exactly how your keyboard's configured, but there's a patch of, page up, page down. There's also an INS called instance. So you go Control Alt instance, turns on an instance of terminology. And it does. I can't demonstrate that for you because it'll turn OBS off because I have the hotkeys. So I might have to think about changing up the hotkeys in OBS so that I can go to the terminal here, because I might want to do that from time to time. I guess I can just use the mouse. After I went through all that complaining, I complained about this terminal for 2 or 3 different videos, and it was very frustrating, and it took me a long time to figure it out. I was just going to the wrong places. I was going to recent times rather than going back to, like, I think this article or review that I read was, a year or two after Enlightenment came out. And it was an enlightenment, not a terminology, forum, or, I'm not exactly sure what it was. I don't remember. All I remember is writing it down. Okay, so turn on an instance again. Control Alt, go up and find INS or instance and hit that. Boom, you will have an instance of terminology. Let's just go and look at the desktop here real quick, because it is kind of a fun thing. All right, behind me now, I got to turn on up here and turn this on. So the first thing I do when I come into Enlightenment Desktop is I go to Pipewire, and I have to change these settings. They're both set to 0, and I think this is the default. Not sure. But the default sample rate is definitely 4,800 or 48,000. I have to change everything to 44.1 because all my stuff is at 44.1. All my old tunes, the last 30 years, since I've been doing this and being at a computerized recording studio. So, and also all my loops and all that sort of stuff are all, and a lot of loops that I'm finding nowadays are all in that. And I know you can change it and go to, I just don't see the point. So then I hit apply, and then I hit close. Now, I like to leave this welcome sign up because there's so many places you can just go directly from it. I've already configured the wine staging and done all that. I have not gone and added the file in my home directory yet, but I'll get to that. Not that important. Also here we go about, it gives you all your information. This distro and the way it's set up will be supported until 2028. And then you can come down here and, the same stuff. There's, shows you the kernel and the storage. It's kind of interesting. It's combining both of my NVMe hard drives and showing it as one storage unit. So I'm not sure that I understand that, but because in every other instance, it's just not around. All right, so we'll get this back to looking normal, and then we'll close it out. So I just wanted to touch on this. This is the Enlightenment home directory, or version, as opposed to Thunar, which I use. So this is the desktop. I don't care about that. But here is my home directory. So if I hover over, there you go. It'll give you a visual of what's in that file. Even right here, I'll go into my loops, Well, there we go, stems. And you can't do anything. It just gives you a glimpse into the file. But I think that's kind of cool. If you're looking for something, you don't know whether you've got it in, me, I download a lot of stuff, a lot of AI pictures that I hold in a holding tank, and then I go to Runway and animate them, some of them, not all of them. So as opposed to Thunar, which is right here, Thunar is just like it's as nice or nicer than anything in Windows or Mac, as far as I'm concerned. Plus I get to have Dayglow blue folders. All right, so let's go look at this. This is the Pipewire version of Carla. So as you can see, it's pretty simple configuration. Sounds being captured by the my M2, sent through, and then it comes out as into my headphones. So, that's it. Let's go ahead and quit. Now we're going to go into Ardour real quick. Ardour 8.4, which just upgraded about 2 weeks ago. Let's go there, and then I'm going to go to this one instance. Now you can see that my the sound from my mic is coming through because Ardour's all connected up with my M2 sound card. Now I don't have OBS in touch with Ardour, but it is in touch with the M2. But if I play this, I'm sure it's not going to come through, but I'll do it anyway. There you go. And we'll stop it, enter to get it back. All right. And so now let's look at the graph. The Q Pipewire graph. Yeah, okay. So, and here we have Ardour. And all its spaghetti. So, and then if you really understand this, and I haven't really fooled around with it enough to say, oh, I'm an expert at all this stuff, but pretty much, if you know what you're doing, you can, if you have some sort of special arrangement you want to make, you can pull these wires out, or create a new wire and run it through something if if that's what you want to do. But anyway, just a visual to show you the difference between something running and, well, not that it's not running, but not much running. So here's Arter. It's all working good. Down here's, you can see I'll hit my keyboard. That's a piano. If I do this instance up here, that's a drum kit. And then I have this all set up for my guitar, which is running through the 11 rack. So I use this to get all that kind of stuff working. Regular sound working. Direct sound from my M2, which is down here. And then the synthesizers in virtual machines and things. All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to go over here and just quit it from here. Sessions, quit. Save and quit. Yes. All right. So I don't want to hit, I can't hit my newfound buttons to open up terminology or it'll stop OBS. So I'm going to click on it, which is what I've been bitching about, just to show you. There you are. There's OBS. So again, to get into, not an OBS, into terminology, in order to get into terminology on the Enlightenment Desktop, it's Control Shift Instance, or INS. And to get out is Control Shift End. So it's Control Shift End to get out of it. Or you can just go like this and close the terminal. And I wish I could hit those buttons, but if I do, I'm going to shut down OBS. So it's like a little catch-22. Now here's the other stuff. You can see my CPU's running at, well, it's got, because OBS is on, so it's running at about 40 centigrade, and then my CPU, this is what it's running at. It's going between 40 and 39. When I shut off OBS, the CPU will cool down, and this will go back to like 3.7 or 3.6. That's the way it is. I don't know that there's much else to talk about. I mean, if you really want to, I'm going to turn this back on. If you really want to get a full, detailed overview of all this, you should go to the tutorial video. I'll go ahead and click on that, so that way we can get an idea of how quick the internet is on this machine in my home. Okay, that took a couple of seconds. But anyway, this is the in-depth. It's fairly long. It's about an hour and a half, hour and 26 minutes. Glenn MacArthur's video. So, any information you want, this is at bandshed.net. Let's go ahead and get out of this. And I think that's about it. I don't know if there's any reason to keep going here. I'm going to close this. I don't know. Yeah, there it goes. When that stops, I'm still kind of treating this all with kid gloves. So, close it. Get us back up to snuff here. And here I am again. All my radiant glory and all my enlightened being BS. Anyway, I hope that was semi-entertaining, and I'm really pretty dang happy with Enlightenment now and AVL MX 23.2. I just think it's really cool. I still really liked my MX21 a lot, but I have grown very fond of this, especially now that I can use commands on my keyboard to open and close terminology. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. So I'm not going to say that I'm 100% enlightened. There's a couple of tiny little glitches here and there, like the cursor or the mouse pointer getting stuck. Last time that happened was a couple of weeks ago. Hasn't happened since. And I have had probably about 15 or so updates in the last couple of weeks. So, and I think there's a way for me to fix the 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 MX updater that's down here. You know, oh, you can't see that anymore. I'm thinking I'm on the silly old man. Okay, that's enough for me. Adios, my friends. Buenos dias, mi amigos y mi amigas. Enlightened.